Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a video that, I haven't really seen many people doing, but I'd like to go down memory lane and talk about people who actually kind of did get canceled. I know that a lot of people always say that cancel culture doesn't work, and that no matter how much you try to cancel someone, they'll still end up being successful, they'll still end up being in the public eye, and all you're really doing is giving them more attention and more publicity. However, I do feel like there have been influencers that have actually gotten canceled and kind of ran off the internet. And so today we are going to talk about who those influencers, in my personal opinion, are. But before we do get into this video, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Turn on the post notifications so that you're notified of the next time that I post a video. And please do follow me on Twitter. My Twitter will be in the description below. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the video. So coming in hot at number 1, we have Kat Von D. Kat Von D is a tattoo artist. She was on a tattoo show. I don't remember what the show actually was called, but I just remember them shoving the commercials down my throat so much that I knew who she was, and I literally never watched that show a day in my life. So yeah, she was pretty poppin' at one point in time. Then she came out with a makeup brand, KVD Beauty, and everything seemed to be well for her. But then, she got into a feud with Jeffree Star. I did not know that that happened because I was not in beauty YouTube at the time, but she got in a feud with Jeffree Star, and then she was ultimately canceled for announcing that she would not vaccinate her child. Now, I personally don't care about that. It's like, okay, you're not going to vaccinate your kid. A lot of people have a lot of concerns and distrust of the government. That's a different topic for a different day. But yeah, I'm not, whatever. She said she wasn't going to vaccinate her kid. A lot of people had a problem with it. If you have a problem with it, then yeah, that's a problem that is valid. But what I don't understand, and this is what I've never understood, is that Kat Von D should have been canceled for being a racist. Her husband or boyfriend or whoever is an anti-Semite, Satanist. That's not ever good. Literally, if I had known that about Kat Von D, I would have never even looked at her makeup. But nobody even mentioned that. Nobody mentioned the fact that they're anti-Semites, that they're racist against all types of different people, that they literally worship the devil. And I'm sorry, I don't care what anyone says. That is one religion I am never going to be behind ever in my life. I will never know. Devil worship? No. And they do that. So I don't get how she wasn't canceled for that, or canceled for at least being racist. I just feel like out of all the things with her, not vaccinating her kid is it's the best of the worst, if you get what I'm saying. But either way, she was completely and utterly canceled. I mean, after this scandal really happened and people said, oh, we're canceling you, they did cancel her. It was a cancellation of the ages. And I think that that's because really it was only the beauty community that she was really influencing. And I think that people only really liked her for her makeup. So it wasn't that hard to just not buy her makeup anymore and just buy from other brands. I don't think that people had much of a relationship with her, almost, even though of course no one has a relationship with these influencers, but it wasn't like she was necessarily a big influencer because of her personality, but it was more because of her artistry and her makeup. So people just stopped buying her makeup. I mean, her makeup is always on sale. To this day, it's still always on sale, even though she got literally pushed out of her brand because of the fact that she was the reason why it was always going on sale. I mean, I see her stuff in TJ Maxx and Ross way too much than I should, and she did it to herself. It's what she gets. I mean, I don't feel bad at all, but she got ran out of her brand. She doesn't even own the brand anymore. She's not affiliated at all. She's just been completely canceled. And I feel like this was the most effective cancellation I have ever seen in my life. But it also kind of irks me because it's like there are other people who have done so much worse who haven't gotten canceled the way that she has and deserve to be, or at least they have done so much worse than what she was canceled for, because she was really canceled for not vaccinating her kid. She should have been canceled for being a racist devil worshiper. But hey, that's just me. But I just feel like this one was the most effective cancellation for a reason that I didn't really feel that I couldn't really get behind. But I'm still glad that she got canceled, if that makes any sense. Next, we have Jeffree Star, and I know what you're thinking. Jeffree Star is still popular, and this, that, and the fourth, and Mr. Lipstick Nazi, he's gonna be all right. But Jeffree has been losing his popularity. I think that the revelations about him that have come out in the past few years, and there's always, like, every few months, there's always something else about Jeffree that people learn that just turn them off to him. And I think that it's become worse and worse, and he just continues to lose loyal followers. And it's not something that you can necessarily track on, you know, all of these different platforms where you can track people's followers and things like that. But it's more so like every day you see more people like, I used to be a fan, but now, or I just found this out, so now I can't support him. And it's because he has such a past that I don't think anyone can just get over. Like, he's done so many things that it's hard to say that you're going to get over something like this or that. It's always something new coming up with him. And you can see that he has been getting some consequences. Morphe has dropped him. He's now not affiliated with Morphe. His setting spray is literally on sale for $4. He's not being sold on Morphe anymore, like, at all. It's done, which I am very proud of Morphe for doing. And I think that more people need to give him credit, not him, but Morphe credit for doing that, because a lot of people, I just think that Morphe was very strong in doing that, because Jeffree is still a huge influencer, but doing that made a real statement. And I feel like they should have done it earlier, but I'm glad they did it at all, because a lot of other brands might not have done that. And now drama channels are denouncing him. In a way, the drama channels that were shills for him are now like, oh, I don't support Jeffree, and, you know, I'm not friends with Jeffree. They're trying to distance themselves from him, and I feel like he's been losing friends and losing connections in the beauty community every year. More people are coming out against him, and so you can see this gradual shift where he's gradually but surely getting canceled. And I just, you know, I feel like this all became a real thing, and he really started to get canceled because of the fact that he got involved with the James Charles drama of 2019. And ever since then, people have really come out against him. James's loyal supporters have really come out against him. A lot of things have been revealed about what he does behind the scenes that's really disgusting. Tati denounced him, and it's just over and over and over again. We consistently see people come out against Jeffree Star. And I feel like it's a slow but sure cancellation that's, you know, now his makeup isn't doing as well as it used to. And that is like real change. I feel like once Jeffree Star Cosmetics is in TJ Maxx, which it is, at that point, you know, okay, he's going down the drain. And I think that he knows that as well. And I think that Jeffree is trying to stay good at the moment. But I feel like in the next few months, we're going to see another huge Jeffree drama. And it's just going to make things worse and worse for him, to the point where he really will be canceled like Kat Von D, in my personal opinion. I really hope to see Jeffree Star Cosmetics in TJ Maxx and on clearance, because that's what he deserves. He's a disgusting, horrible human being, and I don't feel bad for saying that whatsoever. Next, we have Jeffree's little partner in crime, Shane Dawson. Now, this cancellation was way too long in the making. That's for sure. The fact that all of the clips that came up about him last summer which was really when he got canceled, were things that were still on his YouTube channel. Clips that had millions of views, clips that all of his loyal supporters who had been supporting him from the beginning had seen and said nothing about. The fact that it took all of that in 2020 rather than when it happened in like 2012, I don't understand that. I'll never understand that. I honestly, it's like a betrayal to a lot of the people that he has victimized, because yes, he has victimized children. And I use that phrase boldly. He has victimized children, and it is actually disgusting to me that people stood by and let that happen. Stood by and let him profit off of victimizing children, because he made money off of those videos. And probably a lot of money off of victimizing children, making jokes about children and doing lewd acts, things that just I don't get how you can watch that content and not be disturbed enough to at least unsubscribe. But the fact that this had to all come up because he made a letter to the beauty community is ridiculous. It shouldn't have taken all of that to come to the conclusion that Shane Dawson needs to be deplatformed. But at the same time, I'm glad that it did happen. I'm glad that he was ran off the internet. I'm glad that he was acknowledged by A-listers like the Smith family, even though I think it's disgusting that they saw that. You know, like if I was Jada Pinkett Smith, I would be absolutely, that man, I would be grossed out. And I'm so glad that they said something and that they used their platform. But also I'm so not glad that this happened to their daughter. You know what I'm saying? But it was too long in the making. It was too long in the making. And now Shane is trying to inch his way back to YouTube by, editing Ryland's videos and then showing up in Ryland's videos and things like that, and trying to, can I come back, guys? Can I come back? Acting like a victim, acting like he got canceled for no reason. And then Tati put the nail in the coffin, in my personal opinion, because then people were like, oh, not only are, the children thing, that should have been the cutoff, but also he was completely vindictive, and I believe that he did have a hand in the James Charles situation. It's just, people are now figuring out who Shane Dawson is, and I don't get how that is a thing, considering the fact that he did blackface on YouTube. Like, how are you just now finding out that he's disgusting? You should have known this. So I feel kind of betrayed by his audience, or people that now are denouncing him. I feel betrayed because it's like, well, you should have said something. All of his victims should feel betrayed because they should have said something. They should have brought this to light, and yet they didn't. But I am glad that people did cancel him in the way that they did. And I really hope that people remember what happened this summer in 2020, so that it's not, that we don't have to repeat it, that we don't have to cancel him again in 5 years because of the things that he's done. And because of the absolute zero change that he has made. He's just put on an act. I truly believe that. He's just put on an act. He's not sorry. He will continue to minimize what he's done and defend his actions. But at the end of the day, the man is gross. So I'm really glad that he got canceled the way he did. And I hope that all of the other subscribers unsubscribe immediately. Next, we have Gabby Hanna. And this cancellation, it was difficult for me. This one is difficult for me to necessarily justify. But at the same time, I feel like Gabby kind of did bring it upon herself. She did the least of the people that I've mentioned in this video thus far, and the people that I'm going to mention later in this video. But she, I feel like, has suffered a lot, and probably the most in a way, because her views really show that, like, she's actively still being canceled. Her views are not up to what they were a few years ago. She's just become an internet meme. I think that people have just become exhausted with Gabby Hanna because of the petty drama, and people just don't like her anymore. I truly believe that. I think that the other influencers that I've mentioned, minus Kat Von D, people still like them. People still, feel like they have this relationship with them. I don't think that a lot of people still like Gabby Hanna. I haven't really seen many people support her and really go hard for her, because it's just like people don't like her content. They don't like the way that she's going with her platform. They don't like her consistently victimizing herself, which I think has really hurt her. Even though it's not as bad as what the other people in this video have done, it's really hurt her to victimize herself. And just the constant back and forths with people on the internet, and she just makes herself kind of look ridiculous. I talked about how she became an internet meme, and then, she was calling everyone a bully and all of these things, and she accused YouTube of basically shadow banning her and things like that. And it's just always something with Gabby that it's just hard to really support her and watch her. And I think that it's been hurting her, and people just don't want to watch her anymore. People don't want to watch her content. People don't want to watch her, her music videos. Like, people don't want to engage with her content anymore. But I feel like out of everybody in this video, she is the one who deserves a second chance. And I just think that it's because the things that she hasn't really done anything that horrible, except the Jessie Smile situation. I feel like that situation was really disgusting, but I also feel like it was years ago. And, an offhand comment like that, I think is much lighter than what other people in this video have done. So I feel like out of everybody, she definitely does deserve a second chance. If she can learn to just stay out of drama and not victimize herself. And that's just part of growing up. And, for someone who's pushing 30, come on, Gabby, you gotta grow up at some point and start taking responsibility, stop getting into internet drama, and just make good content that people actually want to watch. So yeah, even though I do feel like Gabby Hanna is always getting canceled, every day people are unsubscribing, people stop watching her videos, I do feel like she does, out of everybody in this video, deserve a second chance. Next, we have Miss Olivia Jade. Now, Olivia Jade, if you don't know, she's the girl who was the face of the college admissions scandal. And her mother's Aunt Becky, clearly, she literally looks exactly like her. And she just got ran off the internet, completely ran off the internet, to the point where as soon as she came back, it was just war. People were on her, and people are still very much on her to this day. She lost so many brand deals immediately. She really lost her platform. And the only way that she could really come back was to do the Red Table Talk. And even after she did the Red Table Talk, a lot of people had issues with her. Now, for me, I personally thought that she had shown at least some growth from her Red Table Talk, and I'll link the video that I did about the Red Table Talk in the description below if you want to see what my actual thoughts and reactions to that Red Table Talk were. I feel like I've seen a lot of people say things about the Red Table Talk that I do definitely agree with, that were more critical of her, that I didn't really think about, like the fact that she definitely did pose for rowing pictures and things like that. But at the same time, I feel like she has shown at least some type of growth and taken some type of accountability. But a lot of people were way more vicious about it than I thought that they would be. Like, I have seen pretty much not anyone, I haven't seen anyone really give her the benefit of the doubt or say like, you know, I think that she's changed. I feel like I'm the only one who said that, which is very weird for me because people love to say that I'm like negative, but I genuinely just thought that, you know, she's changed. But a lot of people don't feel that way. So I think that this cancellation has not stopped, and it will not stop for a while, but I understand it. I get why people are upset, because what happened was so it affected people. It affected people who didn't want to go to college. It affected people who didn't have the same resources but worked much harder in school and all of these different things. It affected people who wanted to be on the rowing team at USC. It affected a lot of people, a lot of kids. And I think that that's also something that should be noted. This didn't just affect people, but this affected, basically kids, just college kids, high school kids who just wanted to go to USC. And I think that that's what makes it feel so much more sinister for a lot of people, is that this didn't just affect anyone, but it affected, the young, innocent, the more innocent people of our society. And she's just like the poster child of white privilege and of rich privilege, which in my opinion, it's more like rich privilege than white privilege, but there is probably some white privilege in there. And I think that all of that combined has just made her hated. And I think that she definitely still has to prove herself. I think that the Red Table Talk was a step in the right direction, but she still has to continuously prove herself, to prove that she has changed and to prove that she's not the girl that a lot of people make her out to be. And so I just think that it's going to take work for her if she still wants to have a platform. But I do think that maybe she should just give it up, because I don't think that it's worth it to consistently go through that type of hate when you could just do something else with your life. She's still young. She's only 21 years old. She has her whole life ahead of her. And I don't think that it's going to be worth it if she has to put in so much work just to prove to people that she's a decent person and just to get back a part of her audience. So, I feel bad for the girl in a sense, but then I don't. And I think that people are definitely valid in, their disdain for her and her family. So, I can't say that it wasn't deserved what did happen to her, unfortunately, but it's still kind of sad. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about her, but I think that she definitely did get canceled. And lastly, we have the TikToker Emma Lou. Now, I made a video about her, and I know that she's not as big as the other people in this video, and that's because she got canceled. Oh my gosh. I think that Emma Lou was on track to be a pretty big TikToker, and definitely be more recognizable. She got big pretty quickly, and a lot of people knew who she was, but as soon as those videos of her saying the N-word came out, it was a wrap. Like, she was done. And then, Cardi B called her out, and that was the nail in the coffin. She hasn't been super active. She barely has 10,000 followers on Instagram, which I know is a lot. But for an influencer who I feel like she had potential to be really big, she had potential because she was funny. She was funny, at least to me. And I don't find everybody funny. I'm just going to let you know right now, like, I don't find a lot of people funny. Like, I wouldn't have found Shane Dawson funny at all. I wouldn't have found, like, Gabby Hanna funny at all. But Emma Lou was funny. A lot of people liked her. She was that Nicki stan, and she gave a lot of stan culture and Gen Z culture that a lot of people were really craving on the internet, and she gave a lot of that type of humor. So a lot of people really liked her, but I mean, as soon as those videos came out, she was canceled immediately. And for good reason, because I feel like this was the one. What I think that it was because her audience consisted of a lot of Black people. Because she was like a Nicki stan, and there are a lot of Black Nicki stans. And so you can't just disrespect your whole entire audience. It's not like her audience consisted of a lot of like white kids or a lot of kids of different races. It was a lot of Black kids, you know what I'm saying? So she really betrayed her audience, and her audience felt super betrayed and felt like they couldn't trust her. And so they just canceled her. And it was very easy and very quick, because the only people that could really cancel her were like Black kids. And once I feel like a lot of people have had like a no tolerance policy when it comes to the N-word, especially the way that she used it. And so it was very quick and instant. And I mean, she got she got canceled. And then just the shenanigans that went on afterwards, just uncalled for. A lot of things that happened afterwards, it was too much, and people just kind of left her behind. And personally, I definitely did participate in that cancellation. I definitely unfollowed her because I was like, oh wow, okay, this is who you are. I feel like when she got called out by Cardi B, that situation, I felt like Cardi B, I don't like Cardi B, but I did also think that she was kind of wrong in the situation, just because a lot of people talk about you. Why are you calling out this one girl? But in general, I think that Emma Lou had a lot of potential, and she's still young, and maybe she does still have potential, but it was just snuffed out immediately after those videos came out. So I think that that's a lesson to just know what you post and be aware and understand that what you post might come back later. And if you want to be an influencer, you definitely have to think about that now, you know? And so, yeah, she got really, really, really canceled. Like, people don't check for her at all anymore. Anyways, that is it for me. Please enjoy this obligatory picture of Justin Bieber as I close out. But yeah, those were the influencers that I feel were definitely canceled. Some are still in the process of a cancellation, but they're definitely getting canceled. And yeah, that's just my opinion and my little list. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Go ahead and comment down below who you think has been canceled, or do you agree with this list? Why not? Go ahead and comment that down below. Please do subscribe to my channel. Turn on the post notifications so that you're notified of the next time that I post a video. And please do follow me on Twitter. My Twitter will be in the description below. So yeah, thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!